should probably have a picture of the character on my phone so I can keep chat open. So I'm just gonna take a picture really quickly. I'm going to need quite a bit of references today, I think, because I'm planning on drawing a horse, but I don't know how to draw horses. So, gonna need to figure out how to draw horses. Okay guys, I don't know how to draw horses. We're gonna have to figure that one out. Okay. Okay, why is my liquefy so strong? Hello, hello, hello. Wow, my favorite streamer doesn't read chat. I do read chat. You just gotta give me an opportunity to look up, man. Oh my gosh, dude, this face is just like wrong. Come on. Okay. Okay, I think that's the face. This character has like more braids on the side of her head, kind of like this, so I'm gonna draw those real quick. Okay. I'm gonna need to draw a horse today as well, so it's kind of annoying because I don't know how to draw horses. But I figured this piece would look good with a horse, so here's the horse. It's a little bit, it's a bit of a work in progress, but we'll get there eventually. Nice horse, thank you. It looks very realistic, as you can see. Not too sure, I'm definitely gonna need to find a reference for that horse. I also need to think about how she's gonna be holding these, like, reins, because I do not know how that works. Hello, Yoshi. Ara ara. Ara ara. Ara ara. Oh my gosh, guys. Literally. How do you, like, oops. How do you, like, hold the reins of a horse, like, casually? Like, okay. It's kind of like your elbows are kind of 90 degrees, right? But, like, you set your arms kind of, like, straight down. You're, like, or is it kind of, no, it's, like, kind of straight down, right? I think. At least, like, that's kind of what I feel like is right. So we're gonna go for it. So something like this, right? I think something like this makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna need to figure this horse out, but we'll do that later. The hands can also wait. It's not our priority right now. Okay, wait, how do the legs wrap around the horse? Should I redline some guidelines first instead of just kind of going into that very, like, blind almost? Let's see. Okay, here's the body, right? And then here is the pelvis. Here would be the leg, to which to imagine it be something like this. Right? That looks right. Okay. We'll use this. Do you remember me from Valo? Do I? I don't know, dude. Low-key, yeah, I do have Fat Pigeon on Valo, bro. Is Fat Pigeon the guy that only plays ISO and doesn't know how and has like a 2-second reaction time? Then yeah. Okay. There's like two like belt thingies to hold like pistols. I think the way they work is like, or at least in the reference, they kind of look like this. This doesn't look very good, but I'm just gonna have to imagine it looks good. And there's also like these like things. I don't know what to call them. They're kind of here to like, I think he's kind of goated because he's gold too. I mean, sure. If that's what you think. Okay, these flared pants are like flaring, but I think this should have been a little more like this angle. Okay, horse time. I'm gonna need to look up an image of a horse. So, horse on Google. Let's see what horses look like. Oh, I actually kind of found an image that's like legit the angle that I kind of need for this horse's face, which is kind of good. And this horse, I low-key forgot horses have like such cool hair or manes. Okay. Okay, and then the like saddle thing, I'm not too sure what this is called, but it's kind of like goes under here. There's one here, and then it like goes around the mouth. Okay. I think it'd be cool if we gave the horse a little braid here. And a few braids. And maybe a bow. Like here. Because the character also has a lot of bows, I think it'd look good. Okay, wait, why does my horse look like it has human feet? What the heck? I'm just gonna give her some boots, I think. I think the saddle thing is kind of like this. I'm not too sure. Okay. Okay. The front legs look really stiff, but other than that, I think it's not that bad. Perhaps. Maybe I'll lift this up. This hand. Hoof. Okay. I'm gonna liquefy the horse a little bit. Because it looks a little weird. I think the neck is not thick enough. I think that's part of it. so this hoof actually needs to be way back, which is why it looks weird, I think. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can do any kind of a little bit of perspective modifying with this. Okay. It is a very messy sketch, but I think it works for what I'm trying to do. Right. Okay, you know what? The fact that the lasso even recognized any of my lines is already impressive enough. I actually cannot ask for any more. Okay. Okay. That's the flat color blocking done. I think I'll do the light coming from like the right side. So kind of like this part. A little bit here. Or actually, I could kind of have it a little bit like bottom right, as if it's like sunset or something like that. I think that would look good, actually. Flames in the face for a horse is kind of... I don't really know what's going on, but I'm assuming shadows would work something like that. Probably something like this. Okay. I'm gonna select this layer. And then I'm going to invert it to create the shadows. I'm gonna make this a warm orangey color and have this be on a overlay. Or I might try hard light, vid light, depending. But for now, I'm gonna fill in the base colors. Hello! Hello, hello. Okay. Colors-wise, this character is pretty... has like a nice little, like... Oops. She's kind of like a bit tanned. Probably from being outside. And she has like blonde hair. Right now, it's reminding me a little bit of Applejack from My Little Pony. Okay. Horrible lassoing, but it's okay. The lasso doesn't have to look perfect. It's all good. Okay. What is Art Fight, can I ask? Art Fight is like a online event that takes place every July, and basically you sign up and stuff, and then you basically join a team. This year there's like 3 teams, and basically it's like an art gifting game online. So you kind of upload your characters onto the website, and then other people can draw them. And that's like known as like an attack, and then depending on like the level of detail of the piece and stuff, you gain points. But like the main point of Art Fight is kind of just to, it's like an art gifting game, but it's like pretty big, and it's like been going on for a while, but this is my first time joining it. Yeah, basically that's Art Fight. The red of the ribbons. I really like this color scheme. Honestly, yellow, white, and red work really well together. There's strands of red in her hair as well, but I'm going to figure where that's going to be later. Okay, blue pants, kind of like a more tealish blue, and brown leather. Ooh, thanks, no problem. Okay, the legs do look a little weird because I did warp them a lot, but it's fine. Okay, this I think should go over from here. It's a bit of a more yellowy leather. And then this comes around this way. Okay, got it. This is going to be the pants, and the shoes I'll just make a little bit of a darker leather color. And I'm still not too sure how a saddle works. I'm gonna have to look that up when I render it. But for now, I think this is fine. Regarding the horse, I think I'm gonna give her like a brown kind of like chestnut colored horse. I think that could look nice. Kind of like this color, very similar to her pants, but it's a little bit more reddish. So yeah, I'm just gonna color the horse in. And I'm gonna give it like parts some white as well. Okay. Oh, there's like a bit of a edge, which I'm just going to fill. Same here. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to give it a little bit lighter hair. Or the mane is going to be a little lighter. Red ribbons. And maybe a black for this. With some gold detailing. And then we'll add a little bit of white here on the head. Okay. Let's try hard mix. Okay, no. Let's try hard light. I think hard light works pretty well for this. You're able to keep a lot of the color. I think the multiply, I might add some saturation towards the sunlight side of things. I'm making just a little bit of what's it called? Surface scattering. There we go. Okay. Gonna make a folder of all our layers. Put it in the folder and then merge it to render. Okay. Let's start with the girl, of course. You gotta always start with the face, just cause. It's like an unspoken rule. I feel like most people start rendering the face. It's probably more so that people just like drawing faces, a lot of artists. So they just kind of start with what they like, and that happens to be the face. I think I'm gonna lighten her brows a little, because they do kind of look a little too dark, which is not what I'm going for, but it's okay. I'm gonna go for a darker brown, just to reline this. Then I will fix the hair later. Now we're gonna do the other eye. There we go. That's good enough for this. Okay, I need the brown shade. There we go. Gonna make sure to use a very dark for the shade for the pupil. Just because even though the eye here is brighter, I do want to make sure that the pupil kind of stays the same, at least. I feel like she's looking over a little too much. Okay. Now just make a little bit of a shadow color. Fill in the brows a little. And here. Oh, it's up here. I'll probably have to make it darker. Pita, the horse is here. Yes, the horse. It's a very funky looking horse, but it's fine. We don't gotta worry about the horse that much. You know, the horse isn't the focus of the piece here. It's all good. He can kind of just, he can remain in the background, you know? It's all good. Oh, I totally forgot to... He could be emotional support, yeah. Oh, I totally forgot to add the color in the hair. I'll do that now, guys. I definitely did not forget to do this earlier. This was always here. Then I'll just add the strands and the hair. Like so. And there we go. Okay. Gonna need to do some shadows on the hair. Also reline certain parts, I think, but that's for later. Right now I'm just gonna make sure that the overall shape is visible. Details don't matter too much right now, just mostly making sure that the shapes are fine and that the overall lighting scenario reads as it's supposed to. Okay, and then we're just gonna make this red, although we're fine for 2. And then I might use this pencil that I have to kind of reline, because I don't want it to be too harsh if I use the G pen, so I think this works. And it also kind of keeps that sketchy vibe, I think, of, you know, the sketch. I think the head, the center line is more like here. to match that. Alright. And now I'm gonna add some reflection of the sky. So we're gonna take a grayish color and kind of just brush it lightly. And then we're gonna erase a little so it's less obvious. There we go. And then one more time, I'm just gonna quickly go over the eyes to make sure that they're defined and that they stand out. I'm gonna add the inside of the eye as well. Okay. Now I'm going to add also a little bit of more vibrant color here, just so there's a little more subsurface scattering for a little bit more liveliness in the skin. It'll look a little more alive if I add the red. Quite saturated. Like so. And then in the description of the character, it did say that she is usually quite beaten up. So I do have to go back and add quite a lot of like scars and like bruises to her later. In the reference image, she did have like a black eye. Hello, Tornado! Probably only be here for a short time. The art looks sick. Shadows are a bit off. Never mind, looks amazing. No glaze. Thank you, thank you. I need to, add some... Let's make a purple eye, guys. Tutorial, maybe, except I don't really know what I'm doing. We're just gonna test some colors. We're gonna start off with a yellowy green. Yes. Actually, I'm gonna make the black eye on this side, the one closer to us. So we're gonna start off with like a greenish color. Pure glaze. Hopefully someday I can draw like this. Thank you. With like practice and study, I believe you can if you want to. Okay, here's gonna be the purple eye. It looks pretty purple eye-ish. Now we just blend. I hope this will look fine. I've never really drawn a bruise on a character before, I realize. So this is a first, but if it looks good, it looks fine, you know? You know what? It actually doesn't look that bad. And because this eye is bruised, I might add a little bit of blood vessels onto the eye white. I might make the inner eye line a little more red as well. Like that. Just sketching stuff when you have free time? Yeah. Just a little, like, just doing a little bit, you know, helps, I think, for improving. Because a lot of, a big part, what the heck am I doing? Oh, I'm on a multiplier. Because a big part of, like, drawing, is also muscle memory, so if you can build the right muscle memory, then that's also good. Okay, I can't lie with the hair. I might low-key just, like, lasso it the shape, because this is what is going on. Okay. Okay, and then I'll just re-emphasize these angles. And then with a pen. Started doing like 5 years ago with anatomically incorrect stickman to somewhat accurate torsos. Their perspective, this is something I'm lacking. Perspective is difficult, man. Even I suck at perspective too. With perspective, half the time I just wing it, and then half the time I just don't do it. Like, you know, I can avoid it, I will avoid it. But if you want to get better at it, obviously don't avoid it, but perspective is like hard. It's like, because like it's technically like incorrect, if you know what I mean. It makes things look weird, you know. So then you have to understand the weirdness, which is kind of hard sometimes. I'm add a bit of tomato juice on her lips, you know, just cause maybe she just got into a fight. Just a little bit tomato juice. Like so. Except this is way too snake shaped. Hang on. There we go. Color theory, shadows, and posing. Yeah. Poses is hard, dude. It's like you're like sometimes when you're figuring out poses for your characters, it almost feels like you're doing part-time modeling. Cause I'm like, why do I have to know how to pose characters? Like, it's all part of the fun, I guess. Okay, I think I fixed the head angle a little bit. It was just a little bit like wonky and lopsided, but I think it's fine now. Everything in art feels very difficult, but knowing you can draw your ideas must feel so good. That is true, except sometimes you have ideas that are very like scene based. Imagine like kind of like League splash art, but like in a different art style, but like that type of stuff, or like in a scene and like you know, with the colored background and like all these effects and stuff. I'm like, okay, I do not know how to draw scenes that well. I've been trying to learn a little bit more. But it's still like, you know, I can somewhat kind of do what I want, but it's still like, in my mind, it's a lot more like atmospheric than it actually turns out to be, but you know. That love after one tutorial, dude. Tutorials? I feel like, okay, most tutorials I feel on YouTube is mostly geared towards beginners. Like, I feel like after a certain point, these tutorials are just not helpful. But with that being said, I feel like after like you get to an intermediate level, speed paints are so much more helpful than tutorials. Because a lot of the artists that like, at least that I really like their styles and stuff, they don't post tutorials, they just post speed paint. So I'm like, okay, I'll just study your speed paint then. But yeah. Also sometimes just like looking at the process of someone's art is fun, you know? Okay. Now we gotta do the rest of the rendering. Oh, I forgot I had this like brush. Where is it? I think it's like here. Yes, the gouache brush. The gouache brush is really nice, actually. Helmi was just looking at anime frames. Yeah, looking at anime frames actually is good. Muscles, yeah. No, I agree. The way that a lot of anime, like, obviously they simplify the muscles into just like mostly lines, so that it's like really clear what is going on. So definitely I'd say that's helpful, yeah. And I actually like remember reading this tip online once for like posing. If you can't like think of a pose, sometimes like try looking at like figurines, because figurines are often like posed in really fun like ways. And then also if you have the figurine for the pose, you have like a reference as well. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1, you know? You get to figure out what pose you want to do and have a reference. So if you're doing like a character, you might search online like action figure pose or something like that, or like action figure. And then depending on like what pose you like, you can just reference or use the pose of the action figure. Okay, clothes. I'm gonna use the gouache brush for this because it's got a nice texture. And then also for the parts where like it's not like the main focus of the piece, like, you know, the face is the main focus of the piece, I don't mind. I like using rougher brushes because I think it's like it allows you to do things like make bigger shapes, which therefore like it's less detailed, so then less attention. And then here we can see that there's this kind of like gray color, which we're gonna bring in a little here. And then we're gonna go for a little bit of a darker color, just to redefine some of these lost shapes. And also subsurface scattering. Subsurface scattering just kind of looks good everywhere. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to just be skin or something. You can kind of just put it wherever you want. And then here I'm gonna use the shadow and just kind of do a big shape, like so. That should hopefully give the impression of the braids. I'll just continuing. Details are overrated. Making sketches till I turn to dust. I mean, I feel like details should be used like more intentionally. Like, not everything has to be detailed for something to look good. Like, if you're using detail to draw attention to stuff, I think it often like is a more effective way of using detail. Okay, I'm not gonna use this brush for this. There you go. And then here I'm just gonna get this brown, define the ear, because I don't think you can tell this is an ear right now. There you go. Okay, and then I also need to take this from the hair and kind of define that. There. Okay. For example, that one samurai thing I did. Any sort of detail, it ruins the work. Really just like how it turned out after coloring. Sometimes, it's like sometimes like, because I don't do line art, I don't have this issue, but you know, a lot of people just sometimes they feel like after line art, they're like, wait, this sketch kind of looks better. It's kind of like that. A lot of the times it's because the fluidity is lost after, like, the original fluidity and looseness of the sketch is lost sometimes when you refine too much. So I just don't really do line art or anything like that. You know, if we look at this, it looks very rough, huh? But it's okay. That's how we want it to be, you know? So we're gonna go from big to small now. I can't without the line art. I don't like doing line art. It's just cause, like, it feels a bit repetitive for me. Because you're kind of just like, you know, going over your sketch. I'd rather just like clean up my sketch a bit. But yeah. Okay, I need that horse photo back. Because this horse is not horsing. Like, sure, you can tell it looks like a horse, but like next to the character, it kind of looks like you put a My Little Pony next to like... It's like you put a My Little Pony next to like a real human being and said like, oh, they're from the same universe. It just doesn't look right. So I'm gonna paint this horse real quick. Or hopefully it's quick, because I don't know how to paint horses. So we're gonna have to go on a little journey to see how we're gonna paint this horse, okay? Because there is this other side of the nostril too. It's kind of like this, and then after this we can keep the mouth like that. Okay, there we go. That's the other nostril. Then I'll just do this part. A little lighter. The horse looks really good though, thanks. I don't think I've ever actually drawn a horse that isn't like My Little Pony before. I'm gonna be going now since my phone is burning up. Goodbye. Bye bye. Thanks for joining. Thank you for joining. of cute, actually. You know what? He's actually kind of cute, but I really gotta lock in for the rest of this horse, dude. Okay, I think the horse is actually not looking that bad. I don't need the horse to look that good. I just need to like complement the drawing, you know? Okay, I do need to add some light onto this part. It's time I look at how saddles work. So I'm gonna look up like a horse with saddles, so I can draw them on my character or on my horse. Okay. Because the picture that I have only had like the face saddle. So horse with saddle. Oh my days, I did not realize horses with saddles were so complicated. Okay, well, this is a pretty detailed image, so we are going to reference this to paint our horse. So apparently, let's just use black. It's like this part. So I'm just gonna block it in with black first. This part, and then there's like a cloth here, kind of, and some other stuff underneath it that I don't really know what's going on, but you know, it's like this other mat here. This is kind of like in layers, kind of like this, and then there's a thing that comes under. These are things that tie the horse here. And then there's like this part with the footsteps in that I'm going to just quickly draw. Except this kind of needs to be in front, doesn't it? Kind of like this. Okay. Looks kind of fine, I think. I don't know, guys. Low-key, what? Okay. The horse looks a little too smooth. I need to like add some more sketch lines. Okay, we're going back to the gouache brush because otherwise it's getting too smooth and I don't like it that smooth. I need the horse to be rougher because the character is the focus. Pure aura, like young folks say these days. Yes, aura. Horse's aura. Let's see. Do you think I need to draw the details in the hands, or do you think I can cheat my way and just say, oh, that's just, you know, it's not detailed because it's like, you know, not in... I think I could cheat my way out of drawing hands today. I actually think I can cheat my way out of drawing hands today, so that's great news. I'm gonna do the reins in a bit, but first, gene time. Do some folds here on the jeans. Try and get this kind of shape going. Then then go over with the leather. A little bit of outlining here. Gun, I think we'll just kind of do that, but here. All right. Maybe there'll be a little bit of light here. Just a little. Now we draw the saddle. And then make sure that the shoes are polished. There we go. Except that's looking too much. Too polished, even. Okay, there we go. Something subtle. In this style, I'd say it's amazing like this already, but I'm not too good at adding details. Thanks. Yeah, low-key, I don't think like I can add too much detail, because like the style that I kind of draw in here is, it's not like I render everything, you know? So, but it's also kind of like a time thing, because if you do have to render everything, then like you genuinely have to render everything, or else the piece looks incomplete. But if you kind of only render like the important things, then even if the like half your piece is like technically incomplete, it's like intentional, you know, because it's to draw attention to like what matters. That's why I feel like this is too dark. So I'm gonna lightly put the hair color over it to reduce the contrast. Alright. Now for the tail. Not really looking for anything too realistic-ish, so just going to use a very large round brush, and we'll be using that to shade everything here. It's not going to be a lot of shading either. Just enough so that you can kind of tell what's going on. Right, okay, something like that. add like a little bit of like blue in the back leg to kind of signal that this is in the back. Kind of like this. Is it too much, or I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. I think the entire back of the horse should be a little bit like just to create some depth. Same with the character. This part of the hair, I think should be a little more blue. There we go. I think it still needs a little bit of maybe pure white shading for the face to really stand out. And pure black, maybe? Also, I feel like I forgot to draw the sleeves on this side. That's why I was looking a little weird. There we go. And then I'm gonna draw some flyaways with the pen. Okay. Okay, we need to draw the scars still. Yeehaw! Yes, yeehaw indeed. Are scars usually like lighter or darker? I think it depends on the scar, right? I'm gonna give her like kind of like claw marks maybe? And then maybe some darker scars as well. I think we can use this. Okay. And then just some textures. We'll do some pure red on the hair here. Maybe white. Okay. might add some more shadows where the leg kind of like makes contact with the horse, just to separate that a little bit more. And then I'm gonna use overlay just to add a little bit of, okay, not that. Contrast the face here. I think part of it's the fact that the face is really like almost too dark. I think I need to make a to do bounce light here. Like more bounce light here from whatever, I don't know, the sky, kind of. And then make the dark parts actually dark. Especially this area. Okay. Then I'm also gonna add a soft light layer for the sky, this side, and that atmospheric feel before going back with the orange, kind of pinks almost, I think. So if we take a look at before and after render, and I'm also just going to go over the eyes once more, just to make sure that the contrast is still there. Alright, I think it's pretty much done. Probably some more texturing stuff I could do. This is so pretty, thank you. Sorry if I might have missed that earlier. Might make the horse just a little brighter here. Here, especially the hair. Speaking of hair, I might make this like that. Maybe I'll add more blue into the eyes. Ooh, okay, I do think the blue was a nice touch. Let's see what we can do with color adjustment. Okay, let's see before and after. Sometimes I don't like it when I color adjust too much. Sometimes I like do it and then I like clip it on and slide it. But in this case, I actually think the color adjustment looks good. Rare, because I'm not that good with color adjustment, but I think it's pretty much it, right? This is readable from afar. I might need to add a little bit more of that reflective light here along the edge of this. It's because it's all very dark. So if I add something light, it should make it pop. Yeah. There we go. And then regarding the shape stuff, I'll just do some of this real quick. Repaint this. Maybe not that dark. The horse is kind of like too orange. It's beautiful, but I feel like the head is getting washed out since it looks so much darker than the rest. The person? Maybe. Let me do a quick tone check. Okay, I think the horse is too dark. First of all, if you compare it to the rest of the body, it's too dark. So I'm just gonna quickly lighten the horse a little bit. Because I need this part. I need to actually brighten this part of the horse more. It doesn't make sense, but it's for the piece to be coherent, so it's fine. Now it's like more obvious where you're supposed to be looking, which is here. And I think I'm gonna make the horse a little less saturated, so I'm just gonna brush a gray hue over this a little bit, so it's less saturated, and that should help make the horse less stand out-ish. And I think I can darken the lines of the hair as well. Have to go. Hope your drawing ends up amazing, Milk. Thank you, thank you. The horse is drawn so well. I should draw horses. First time drawing a horse, actually. It was mostly just reference, so you know what? References are goated. I'm gonna draw the lips here as well. Make some of these lines sharper. This should help create contrast with the rest of the piece, which then should lead your eye to the character. Yup. Alright. Just a little bit more lines here. Maybe a little bit brighter here. Yeah, okay. All right. Maybe I'll darken the eyelashes here a bit. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. I'm might be able to do more stuff with soft light here, actually. Let's see. A little bit of color variation, and you can also kind of do this like thing with the curve tool where you add like colors like this, and then you set it to pin light and lower the opacity a bit, and you get this kind of like, it's similar to chromatic aberration but also not really. Crazy progress? Thanks. And then you just erase it from the focal point, so then it's like clear. You know? Okay. Chop chop and hop on the game. I think this is almost done though. But like, I feel like the face here, it's definitely the purple eye. It takes away from the contrast of the face. I think I might, I don't usually do this in my art, but you can add like this kind of white line separating top of the eye and the bottom of the eye, just to kind of like, I think that makes this image look better. It makes the eyes stand out more. Yo, the final touches for this piece are like taking so long, man. It just like, the vibes just aren't vibing. But I think they vibed. I think this looks fine. I think this is done. I actually think this is done, guys. I didn't save the whole time I drew this. Oh my gosh. It's fine. It's done. I'll save it real quick, and also this is... Okay, thank goodness you cannot see how I name my files because I just keyboard smash. Okay. Done. Nice. We're done. Yes! Alright! Probably my last attack of art fight, since art fight is like... You can see only at the top. You don't see my like... you don't see my files. Yeah, final attack of art fight because it ends in like, what, 2-3 days? So like... Probably not gonna draw something else in those days, but yeah. All done. Thank you for joining stream. Thank you for watching me make this piece. I'll stream another time until next time. Which is like when you'll know. But yeah, okay, cool.